Lions are one of the most iconic wildlife animals in the world. They are characterized by their tawny orange coats, muscular bodies, and majestic manes. Found throughout Africa and parts of Asia, lions have long been associated with strength and power. Lions are known for their tawny brown fur, which can vary in color from yellow to reddish brown. Their bellies are white, and their entire body is covered in spots. Males typically have a full mane that frames their faces and can reach up to 6 inches long in some cases. Females lack a mane entirely, but still have tufts or fringes of hair around the head and neck area. The average adult male lion can weigh between 265 to 600 pounds, while females usually weigh between 200 and 25 to 400 pounds. Lions are carnivores that primarily eat large mammals such as antelope, wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, warthogs, impala, and gazelles. They will also hunt smaller prey, such as hares or birds, when available. They often hunt together in groups to take down larger prey successfully. Lions will scavenge on dead animals when necessary. However, they rely on fresh kills for sustenance. Wild lions can be found mostly across sub-Saharan Africa. Still, some exist in India's Gir Forest National Park and other pockets of Asia, such as Indonesia's Sumatran wildlife reserves. Lions prefer grasslands or open woodlands with enough vegetation to hide from prey, but not too dense to hinder hunting efforts. They avoid desert areas altogether due to the lack of wildlife to feed on. Lions typically spend much of their days either resting or patrolling their territories, looking for food sources or potential mates. Before taking down larger prey items such as antelopes or buffaloes, the pride will patrol its territory first before settling on a suitable target animal. When food resources are scarce, lions become more aggressive towards other pride, looking to invade another's territory, thus increasing territorial fights among pride, competing over scarce resources like waterholes or grazing grounds. Wild lion populations' main threats include habitat loss due to human development projects, such as construction, and poaching activities for sport. Retaliatory killings by local people whose livestock may have been targeted by lions hunting nearby farms and villages during times of food scarcity within the wildlife reserve boundaries where they reside. All three factors combined have led to a significant decrease in certain lion populations throughout Africa over recent years. Lions form complex social relationships within groups known as prides. Pride consists of several related females, along with several unrelated males who compete with one another for dominance within the pride hierarchy structure. Female lionesses dominate the pride hierarchy and cooperate during hunts, whereas males who are not related tend to compete against, and sometimes will fight one another for control over mating rights with females within the pride. This often leads to male coalitions forming within pride, consisting of 2 or more brothers or cousins working together against other non-related males, attempting gain access and control over breeding rights with female members within a particular pride group. Males also help protect cubs from predators, such as hyenas or humans, who may attempt to snatch away young cubs from a particular pride group. Male cubs usually leave the original pride they were born into once reaching maturity, while female cubs typically stay back after reaching adulthood, providing valuable assistance during hunts amongst other roles she might find herself undertaking later on in her lifetime if needed. Lions come in 2 distinct species: African lions and Asiatic lions. African lions dwell mostly across eastern and southern Africa, while Asiatic lions are found primarily in India's Gir Forest National Park. There are also subspecies within each species, such as Barbary lions found on the North African continent or Transvaal lions in South Africa. The key differences between these subspecies lie in size and color variations. For instance, African males tend to be much larger than their Asiatic counterparts, while there is a noticeable difference in coat color between Transvaal males and other African males. African lions prefer savanna habitats, but can also live in grasslands, bushland, forests, and even deserts if enough prey is available. Asiatic lions normally inhabit open woodlands with plenty of scrub habitat, which allows them access to grassland areas where their primary source of food resides. Hoofed animals like buffalo, deer, wildebeest, wild pigs, and antelopes. While both species share some common traits when choosing a habitat, movement patterns for both populations vary greatly throughout their range due to the availability of prey or protection from predators like a hyena or human hunters. In ideal conditions, meaning plenty of resources available. Male African lions can live up to 15 years, while females can reach up to 20 years old. However, both sexes tend to age quickly once they reach 10 to 12 years old, due to increased competition amongst pride members or weakened immune systems caused by environmental stressors, like inadequate nutrition or disease outbreaks. On average, an Asiatic lion lives around 10 to 15 years, due primarily to the threats posed by poachers within the Gir Forest National Park where they reside. However, if left undisturbed, these animals can potentially reach adulthood at 18 months old, before living out an entire lifespan, similar to those seen among African populations. The current conservation status for both African and Asian subspecies ranges from vulnerable, meaning likely extinction unless significant effort is made towards protecting them, up to critically endangered, which describes a population on the brink of complete collapse within its native range due largely human activities, like poaching or illegal wildlife trafficking, resulting from high demand for wildlife products like fur coats or ivory trinkets amongst wealthy consumers who don't understand the consequences their actions have on wildlife populations worldwide. Fortunately, organizations are working daily with local governments around Africa and India to help protect these beautiful animals so that future generations can enjoy them too. Lions communicate through vocal roarings, which often carry up several miles depending on the terrain surrounding them. However, these animals also use smell-marked territories, warning off potential intruders through scent glands on forehead paws, allowing other individuals to recognize their presence without needing to hear the sound roar itself. Male roaring consists of deep guttural sound produced with special vocal folds throat, usually stretching out over several seconds. In contrast, female roaring is slightly higher pitched and shorter, typically heard near den sites when cubs need to locate the mother. She is looking after newborns. Lions truly are one of the most majestic wildlife animals, possessing incredible strength and beauty that has inspired generations of admirers, past and present alike. However, it is important to remember, despite their impressive characteristics, these creatures still face significant threats due rapid loss of habitats and increasing human encroachment into wildlife areas around the globe today. Therefore, if we want to secure future generations' ability to admire these animals, we need to take steps now to help protect them in their native ranges before it is too late. Please subscribe to our channel for more wildlife educational videos and animal facts.